What's going on, guys? Auzio here and welcome back to a brand new video. So today we have the Midfielders Bundesliga tier list, and I tell you what, there's some interesting people in this tier list that you'll love to see, especially where I obviously place them. Now, if you actually disagree with my tier list, at the end there is a link in the description that you can actually create your own tier list with these exact players. And what you're going to be able to do is make it, obviously sign up for the website, you can save it, and I will be making another episode comparing my tier list with the community. So if you do it and another person does it and another person does it, they'll pretty much get a percentage on the average of where people have been placed. I'll get my tier list, compare it to the communities, and see how we go from there. But first we do have Delaney in the list, and I tell you what, Delaney, the defensive stats, the physical stats, his dribbling is not outrageous, it's pretty decent, but it's not crazy to see. The pace is actually pretty decent as well, the passing is good. For me personally, Delaney without a doubt is a top tier CDM, and I even call this guy the Vieira of the Bundesliga pretty much, because how good he is defensively is an absolute joke. Now, X time, the dribbling is there, defensive stats are there, the physical stats are there, passing is there, pace is there. Now, I do remember actually rating this card, I think it was a 10 out of 10. Now, do I believe he's in the S tier? Not really, because he allowed too many people to go past him too often, and that was the one issue I did have of him. It was one of those situations where he's got an average body type. Well, Delaney doesn't have an average body type. He's got like a more bulkier body type. So I am actually going to put him in the A section. I might change that later though, because I feel like Eckstein maybe deserves to be up there. If there was an A+ section, he'll definitely be there. Now, Sabitzer, I think that's how you pronounce it. Really good card to be fair to him, but the physical stats and the pace slack so much on his card. It's ridiculous. The passing, really good, but let's all be fair. If we're just looking at passing, then yeah, he's an S tier, but we're not. We look at players that can pass while doing other things, and that's what makes players outstanding this year. Now, defensive stats are pretty decent. You put an Anger Kemstar on him, and he's actually pretty good, but for me personally, he's not better than Eckstein, without a doubt. Now, we are going to see Hakimi next. What a disappointment of a card. They could have gave him at least 80 shooting, okay? Like, his shooting is so bad, it's ridiculous. The dribbling is good. It's not outrageously good, but it's good. I do believe he also has 5-star skill moves, if I remember correctly. With the physical stats slacking a lot as well. This guy can run. That's pretty much all he can do. And for me, that is not enough, especially near the end game. Now, this card, he's not actually too bad to be fair to him, but am I going to put him above everyone else? No. There's not much to say about him. It's like, he's an all-rounded card. He can do a bit of everything, but there's nothing that really stands out to me. Now, Witsel. Witsel's really good, to be fair to him. He is. Witsel's one of those players that I did actually really enjoy using because he's so good defensively, it's ridiculous. But when it goes to moving forward, aka dribbling on the ball, pace-wise, shooting-wise, even passing-wise a little bit, he's not great at it. So I don't believe I can put him on Eckstein's level because Eckstein can do literally everything. So I am actually going to put it on Pistas. I think this is how you pronounce it, for Frustrati. Something around there. Now, this card is obviously I think it's a objective card. And the 88 physical with the 85 defending, 85 dribbling. This guy's an absolute tank. He really is. When you're putting in a tackle, this guy will get the ball. But if you're talking about going forward and actually dribbling on the ball a little bit, that's when you start to become a little bit of an issue. And for me personally, this card is really, really good, but I don't think I'm double thinking it. I could put him up here. I might change this later, but I am going to put him up here for the meanwhile. Now, Tolisso. Some people may know that I actually used this Tolisso card, and I feel like I've disrespected Witzel a bit too much. Anyway, Tolisso, he's good. He is, but he's not outrageous. People use this card simply because you can get, obviously, links with Mbappe. You can get links with so many French players. But you can also get a link to Lewandowski. And that is the one thing people used this card for. But when it comes down to defending, he's pretty decent at it. He can put in a tackle. But can he go forward? Hell no. This guy cannot go forward to save his life. So I am actually going to put him down here. Thiago for me has always been one of those players that has never been outstanding in FIFA. But he's like an Iniesta kind of player. A player that can dribble and pass so well. but everything else is absolutely disgraceful. So I am going to put him here. Outstanding player in real life, without a doubt, though. Palacios. Palacios, for me, is ridiculously good. He really is. He can do everything. You put like an Anchor Chem style on him as well. He's got a bit of everything. The pace is there. The dribbling is there. The passing is outward as well. I'm actually going to put him up here because I do believe he is better than Eggstein. Now, McKennie, for me personally, the only thing that slacks on this McKennie card is his agility. Recently, I've used him and my God, he cannot move to save his life. Passing is not actually that bad, but the physical and defending stats, this is literally, I think I actually called this one the Bundesliga of the year because he is ridiculous, and I'm actually going to put him up here. Now, Mbabu, for me personally, Mbabu, if he didn't have reaction time, reaction time slacking a little bit, he would be the best CDM in the Bundesliga because he's got the physical stats, he's got defensive stats, he's got the pace, he's got actually a pretty decent dribbling on him. He's so calm and composed, you can shield players off so easily. But when it comes to the reactions, my God, he slacks a lot. Max, for me, Max is not terrible. Okay, he's not good, but he's not terrible. He's one of those players that, yeah, he can't shoot, he barely can dribble, physical stats slack a little bit, but pace, passing is there. So I'm going to put him in the C section, if I can put this correctly. There you go. Kimmich. I like this card. It wasn't terrible, but I felt like this card slacked on height. There was no reach in the midfield, but he's not bad. He really isn't, and he is a really good CDM. But what I'm starting to see people use is, I'm actually starting to see people use this card in a right back position, and that's interesting to me because I always thought he would just chill in CDM. You'll link him up with a big player and you should be all good. But I was actually quite surprised when I saw people link this card up with the right back position. Kimmich, though, for me, I've never seen Kimmich as top tier, so I am going to put him as here. Now we have Guerrero. Guerrero, for me, with the 5-star weak foot, just 4-star skill moves, is actually pretty decent. But if you actually look at his stats, the finishing slacks, the physical stats slack, the pace, I believe he's got 79 sprint speed, I think it is, and like 91 acceleration. What is that about? If you're gonna boost someone's pace, boost it properly. Boost the sprint speed with the acceleration, please. Don't leave the sprint speed 79. But for me, for that personal reason and finishing stats as well, he's not as bad as Max, let's all be fair. But I'm going to put in the B section. This Guerrero card could have been insane. It really could. And it could have been 10 times better if they actually boosted the pace, the finishing, the physical stats by a little bit, because it is a bit disrespectful. Now, we are going to go, I think, yeah, there's one more. Goretzka. Goretzka, for me, he is good. And you can't disrespect him too much. But he can do a bit of everything. He really can, and he's tall as well, so he's got that beautiful interception reach. But for me personally, I've never seen Goretzka as a top tier player. Now, if this card, I believe it's a Road to the Final card, got upgraded a little bit more, I'll tell you what, he's definitely in the S tier without a doubt. But for me personally, the fact that he's like, he doesn't feel great on the ball at all. Defensive stats slacks a little bit. I'm going to put him in the A section. I might actually switch this, though, because I feel like he doesn't deserve to be up there. But he is good, but he just doesn't deserve to be up there. And maybe Eggstein could move up a little bit as well. Or, nah, probably Kimmich. I feel like I've disrespected Kimmich too much. Though we do have Aaron Greaves, and it is our last player. Now, I've actually used this Aaron Greaves card, and he ain't actually too bad, to be fair to him. It's just what slacks on him is he's exactly the same as Thiago. He's got the dribbling, he's got the passing, but the defensive stats and shooting and pace is slacks. Like, if you actually look at these two side to side, there's actually not much difference. Like, you could actually argue that Aaron Greaves is a better Thiago, but Thiago does feel much better on the ball. And for that reason, I am going to put both of them on the same level. Aaron Greaves does go in the C section, and that is going to be it. I'm actually going to look through this one more time, because I believe some players need to go up. I don't believe this guy should be up here. I really don't. I am going to move him down. And I'm going to move Kimmich up. Because I do believe Kimmich is a quality centre mid / CDM. But the only thing that slacks on Kimmich is the interception reach. Eggstein, I do also believe if there was an A+, he would be above all three of these. Then he'd probably go McKennie, Versace, and then Goretzka. Witsel is the only one out of these four. I feel like I might have disrespected a bit too much because I feel like Witsel is better. If there was, once again, if there was like a B+, then I'll put him there. But I cannot put him in like A section because I 100% believe all of these lot, apart from McKennie, can actually go forward with the ball. While with Witsel, he can't. And McKennie, let's all be fair, he is the better Witsel. Guerrero, the 5-star weak foot, saves him into this section because otherwise, if it doesn't, he'll definitely be down here. Max Hakimi, I think this is, for me personally, I feel like this is perfect. I don't think I've disrespected people too much. I don't believe I put people too high. But that is going to be the best midfielders Bundesliga tier list. Once again, if you disagree with me, there's a link in the description that you can actually create your own tier list with exactly the same players. All you have to do is create an account with Tier Maker. Then with Tier Maker, you can actually save it, and there'll be like multiple people obviously doing it, so there'll be like an average at the end. I'll make an episode comparing my one to the average to see what actually people disagree and agree with me with. But if you guys did enjoy the video, leave a like, leave a comment, and for now, peace.